Dr. Shayna.
Dr. Shayna Lewis.
Dr. Shayna D. Lewis.
Dr. Shayna Lewis.
Oh, Dr. Shayna D. Lewis.
What's going on, my family? Welcome to the Power Room. Dr. Shayna here. This is the podcast for experts, practitioners, entrepreneurs, and coaches who are ready to leverage your genius and finally get paid what you are worth in life and business. And I'm your host, Dr. Shayna, your brand therapist, and I help experts just like you build bankable brands well beyond traditional practice. And I am super excited to invite you into the Power Room. This is episode number 12, the season finale of Power Moves, the podcast. And I'm so excited to have been with you for this past 12 episodes. And I can't even believe we're already here. Like, it went super duper fast. But I'm so excited to be here today. And maybe this is your day one, the first time watching the podcast. Remember, you've been with me the whole season. Either way, I'm excited that you're here right now. Today, we're going to do a bit of a recap and look backwards at some of the things that we've dealt with. My biggest objective here today, really. So no matter if you're just watching this day one or you've been watching the whole season, today's purpose is really about helping you determine what is that one power move that you need to make. Because I don't want you to leave this season without having decided what that is and then knowing the steps to do that very thing. So we're going to recap quite a bit of what we talked about over the season and then look forward to season 2 as well too and give you some tidbits about that. But I am hopeful that you got your pen, your paper, maybe a cup of tea, and some snacks as we hop in to Power Moves. Okay, so let's just get into this real quickly. This whole season, we've been dealing with a lot of the foundational components about power moves as I see it in the work that I've done, not just with myself, with other clients that I have coached through this journey. And so I want to just start by answering the one question first. Why power moves? Why am I having this conversation? Why do we need to make power moves as experts, practitioners, entrepreneurs, and coaches? Why? We need to make power moves for a couple of reasons. So number one is because you have to have goals in life and business if you're going to move forward. And so when you have goals, your power moves are typically going to be attached to them so that you can achieve them. So if you have a power goal, a goal of X amount of money, $100,000 in a year, you're going to have to make some power moves to get there, right? And so you need to know what they are. They're going to set you up for success in that way. So this is why we must have power moves, because we got goals that we need to meet. Number two, you want to differentiate yourself from the masses. So if you are in the marketplace, you have a service or a product that you sell, or you're just now getting to the place where you're considering that, you got to have a unique value proposition in this marketplace. Otherwise, you feel like another fish in a real big old sea of other folks doing the same thing you're doing. So Power Moves, as you listen to these episodes, is really here to help you differentiate yourself and create something that is unique to your brand and your voice. Powerful. And number three, you get access to the 4 freedoms. When you make power moves, the 4 freedoms, the freedom of choice, you get to choose your freedom of time, where you spend your time, who you spend it with, your freedom of energy, how I exchange energy in spaces and places that I actually enjoy or pour back into me. And number 4, the freedom of finances, where no matter what happens, I absolutely have rivers of income that are going to help support me and the work that I do and those that I'm here to serve. One of the other things that you really want to also understand about the need for power moves is because what I know about so many of us who are in this space as entrepreneurs, coaches, while I may not know your exact story, I will assume because you're here, you and I have something like this in common. That while we are here, we have businesses, we are also wanting to give back to our communities. And I promise you, when you make the right power moves, you are in a greater position to actually give back and do the work in the community that you would like to do. Because if you're not worrying about how you're going to eat your next meal, because you've been able to create a power move foundation that allows you to make money all kinds of ways, you can then go back and serve other people that you desire in a philanthropic way. So for me, power moves is about business, but it's also about creating an impact in my community. So I'm hopeful for you that that's a very similar benefit of making power moves. And then I want to answer the question, why diversify income? Okay, like why? I got one good thing and it's working. Let me tell you something. If COVID-19 taught us nothing, it should have taught all of us that life will change, business will change. When circumstances change, will you have enough things in place and position to sustain you, your family, your business, and the outcomes that you're hoping for? Most folks, if they didn't have another way to flip virtual in the pandemic, they lost everything. In this space, because we know those things can absolutely happen, having multiple rivers of income allows you to generate funds multiple ways. One river dries up for whatever reason, you got 6 more that you can go to. They're already in process, they're already in flow, and you can just show up and tap in. So understand that it is vital to your life and your business for you to be able to have 7 rivers. Okay. It will absolutely create a recession-proof business because, again, if one thing dries up, there's other things that are there and available to you. So understand that I'm not talking about these things because they're fads, because they're cute, because it's just fun. What I'm saying, although I do have a good time doing the work that I do because I enjoy it, but I'm telling you that this is practical and this is what's necessary if you truly want to be successful. Talk to any person who's successful in business, and I don't think you'll find anyone who disagrees with that. Okay. All right. So let's just get into our recap. So over the course of this season, I have absolutely delved deeply into the 7 rivers. I'm going to run through each of them with you right now pretty quickly. If you did not watch those episodes, or if I say one, you're like, oh, that sounds interesting, Dr. Shana, I'm going to ask you to go back and listen to the episode because that episode, I went into greater detail and really gave you some real tools that you can use. So if we recap in the 7 rivers, we're going to start at the top of the house. The top of the house is being, well, let me do this before I get into actual rivers. I'm going to tell you at the top of all of this, or the bottom of it, is building a bankable brand. There's a whole episode about building a bankable brand, why you need one, and the steps for you to actually do that. If you do not have a brand that is built on the 3 things that I use as brand foundation is mission, message, and movement, then you don't have rivers to build out. Okay, so you got to have a brand first. It needs to be built. It needs to be solid. And you need to be clear about it. So you communicate that to those who you want to serve. Okay, so that's the first piece here. That is foundational before we even get into the 7 rivers. Now, I'll get to the first river, speaking. Now, I use speaking first because speaking is a gateway to serve one-to-many instead of one-to-one. So many of us, again, have worked in this one-to-one space. Now it's truly time for you to flip into a space of serving one-to-many. Now, I know some of you may be saying, well, Dr. Shane, I really don't know what to speak about. I don't have a platform. Watch the episode where I speak about it, but I also do amazing trainings, and I'm even going to be hosting in 2025 some live speaker events that are going to allow you to truly develop your speaker message and platform and walk out as a professional speaker ready to be paid for your expertise. Okay. And so speaking for me is top of the house because it is the greatest way to feel any other aspect of your rivers because it puts you before more people. The thing I want you to consider is that if you do not have leads, you don't have a business. And so speaking puts you in front of a room full of potential leads. It just automatically does, which is a powerful way to continue to generate business and find new clients to fill in or invest in any of the other rivers that you actually have going at the same time. Okay. So they're speaking. Every single one of you that is an expert, an entrepreneur, a coach, a practitioner should be speaking. And again, I'm not saying you got to go speak to thousands of people, but you need to be speaking in a way that puts you before more than one person at a time. Okay. So as I'm going through this, I want you to write down notes. Which of these 7 rivers is going to be my next power move? Okay. Books. Now, books for me go with speaking. I just don't think you have a book for the sake of a book. I actually have 7 of them, working on my 8th one right now. But all of my books are tied to things, right? So there is a keynote attached to books. There is a brand attached to these books. So when the books show up, it didn't show up out of anywhere. It showed up connected to a message and brand that I was already building. So as an expert, you got to have a book. If you don't have a book, are you really an expert? I'm just saying, when you think about experts that you know in your world, people who you know and trust and you follow, they got books. It allows you to serve people in a massive way. So make sure that if you've never thought about writing a book, you do. I even have a technique, and I talk about this in the episode on becoming an author or sharing your story, that I can teach you how to write a book in 7 days. Like, it doesn't take forever. You just need to know the framework to get it done. Coaching. Now, coaching for some folks, oh, why would I do that, Dr. Shana? Well, coaching is how you're able to help people through a journey or a process. Whatever your expertise is, whatever problem you solve in your area, your capacity to coach people through it is very powerful. People want a shortcut. Coaches give shortcuts. I'm a business coach. I'm also a life coach. So if you work with me, I'm giving you a shortcut to get from the place where you are not feeling well to the place of feeling very well and taking care of yourself. If you enter into my business coaching side and I'm helping you to scale and brand, become a brand master in your own business, and I am helping you by giving you a blueprint or shortcut from I don't know how to do this to having an entire blueprint on how to get it done. That's the point of you being a coach and taking people through a journey based on your area of expertise. They don't know how to do it by themselves. If they did, they would have already done it. That's just a fact. Y'all can write that down, quote me. If they already knew how to do it, they would have already done it. The same thing for you. Maybe you're in a space where you actually need some coaching to get this done. Great. Get a coach. Maybe Dr. Shana is your coach. I'd love to work with you, or maybe not. Maybe it's someone else, whoever it might be. Just understand that doing it by yourself is not the greatest option. It just really is. It takes you a lot longer and it's going to cost you a lot more money actually in the long run. Courses. Now, I loved this episode where I really dived in and I literally told you how to build a course, how to create the modules, how to develop it, market it, sell it, all of those things. Go back and watch that episode. It was great. So having a course allows you to have on-demand knowledge. People can pick it up at any time. You have to be nowhere around. And it's an amazing way for you to make what we call sleep coins so you can keep doing the other things you really enjoy in your life. Okay. So it's tied to your brand. All of these things, folks, are still tied to the bankable brand you built at the bottom of this and allows you to continue to grow. Now, another favorite of mine is going to be events. And y'all like Dr. Shane, everything's your favorite. It really is because I love all of this stuff. But events are amazing because it allows you to get before people in the flesh. Like we are really tired of a virtual world for most of us. You can't have virtual events. I still do. But the face-to-face is so much greater. It's a greater way to connect to people. It doesn't have to be expensive. Watch the episode because I give you some actual tips that you can take to go actually host your first event. Okay. Build the brand at the bottom and then host an event around that brand. And it doesn't even have to cost you a whole lot of money. I promise you, it may cost you a meal and that's all at the end of the day. Or it may be free if you're talking about a virtual event for sure. Now, the last two are products. Now, products also can go with the speaking and the books because these are things that are tangible, can be tangible, that you could sell after a speaking event for sure. Or you could have products that people can buy online that may be digital. Again, sleep coins, they can download those in the middle of the night at all times, and it's not a problem. Now, I'm going to say this again, my favorite, and they all are, but for real, if there's two that I love, it's speaking and it's this one, media. I love a good TV show. Now, I know everybody doesn't want to be on TV, and you don't have to. Media takes on all kinds of forms. There's TV, there's radio, there's print media, there's all of those. There's social media. There's tons of ways to tap into the media. But if you're an expert, come a little closer. You got to be in the media. It gives you credibility. It gives you visibility, and people need to see you and hear you and know that other people believe what you're saying. So please find your way into the media. I give you some tools and tips about that in that episode, but the media is a powerful, powerful way to show up and be able to serve and still grow your business. Now, these are the 7 rivers. Pick one, pick 2, pick 3. Just at least pick one to start with. I am not saying do all these at the same time because you can't. It's overwhelming. But at the bottom, you build the foundation, which is the brand, and then you choose one of these in which to start. I'm encouraging you to choose one and start. Don't be like some of the folks that I've interchanged with and, oh, I've been thinking about this forever. Well, the thinking about it ain't going to get it done, and it's not going to move you forward in the process. So what I'm begging you to do is make a choice, make a decision, and move. Don't do it alone if you're like, I don't know where to start, Dr. Shana. You don't have to do this alone, but decide that you're going to make a move somewhere. Okay. Now, those are the 7 rivers. As I talked about those, I also was weaving into this conversation, not just the business side, but also the life side. And so if you are leveraging your genius and getting paid in life and business, you're making some other choices in your day-to-day world that are going to support your business for sure. One of those is the 10X is easier than 2X because 10x in your life or your business is easier than 2x. It's like we got to go balls to the wall, like all the way to the end. Some audacious goal that we may have, it's easier than making incremental changes. What I will say to you is that this is a true statement. Okay. Part of this and doing this well is getting the right tools in place. Y'all ask for some help. I don't know who you need on your team. I don't know who you need to support you to make this easier for you, but don't do it alone. Again, you may need a mentor. You may need a coach. You may need a virtual assistant. You might need a physical assistant. You might need a social media manager. I don't know exactly who you need, but if you're going to 10x your business, you're not going to do it by yourself. I promise you that. There are folks that you can hire to help you along that journey. Okay. The other piece here is setting limits. So in our life, in our business, we can find ourselves stretched all the way to the end and you feel like you're on the edge and you're about to fall off, right? How many of y'all have ever had that happen? I know I have. And setting limits allows you to protect yourself and your energy as you're in this journey. It allows you to be an amazing boss, an amazing expert, an amazing coach. It also allows you to take care of you in the midst. So those of you who know me, you know that I am a mental health expert by training. And so wellness is my first love. And so taking care of ourselves has to be a part of our journey as business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, and experts. If we're not, y'all, we're doing ourselves a disservice and those that we help and support. So I'm encouraging you to really think about who do you need on your team. Get them. It may even be your kids, your spouse, your husband, your wife, whoever else. It might be a cousin, your auntie, a niece, a nephew. Maybe those are the folks you need to hire on your team. I don't know, but decide and don't do this alone. Okay. Boundaries versus rules, really determining the boundaries you need in your own life and business so that you can create rules for other people so they know how to operate in your world. Okay. Watch the episode if you have no clue what I'm saying. It's good stuff. Go back and check that one out. Now, the other component of the 10x over 2x is really about having an abundant mindset. Understand that you have access to greatness. It's in you, it's outside of you, and there's more for you to tap into. So have the mindset that there is more for me to do, there is more for me to experience, and there's more for me to share. But you got to understand and believe that you have a capacity to do so. So begin thinking abundantly, have a growth mindset, not the scarcity one, but the one that knows that there's so much more out here and you're able to tap into it. Okay. And so those are some of the key components of things we talked about over this season. I'm going to ask you the question, what power move are you making, my friend? Get in the comments and tell me, Dr. Shana, here's the power move. Just tell me what it is. It's your way of being accountable in this moment, right? Inside of this episode, this finale, to say, I'm committing to doing this one thing. This is why today's power move affirmation is, today I decide to make a power move. Repeat after me, drop it in the comments. Today I decide to make a power move. If you're not making a move is being made, but it's not the one that's going to benefit you the most. Okay. So I want to make sure we're all walking away today with the power move for sure. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I want to let you know you don't have to do this alone. I already said that. And I want to invite you to join the Power community. I have a Power Moves community that's designed for experts just like you, where you can tap in, and on a monthly basis, you and I and my other expert friends, we have live Q&A sessions where I'm supporting you on your journey to making all of these moves. You don't have to do it by yourself. You really don't. Click the link down in the description to learn more about the Power Moves community, because it's a place that you don't want to miss. This is the community where you want to show up and you want to get the support that is you need. Okay. Now, there's also a free gift down there. Go ahead and grab that. It's a free training that I'm offering to you as well, teaching you how to 10x your business as well. Now, as we look forward to next season, I'm excited about 2025. I can't believe 2024 is so rapidly coming to a close. But in 2025, here you go. Next season, some things for us to look forward to. So this season was just Dr. Shana. I was laying the groundwork, sharing with you what it is we were doing in Power Moves and what it looks like. Next season, I will have guests that I will invite onto the show, and they will be folks who have done amazing things and made great power moves, teaching you how to do the very same thing. So you won't just be Dr. Shana. There'll be a whole other folks that will be joining us in our next season, which I'm looking forward to. So I want to make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. You follow me for more. Follow me on social media. I am Dr. Shana as well, so you don't miss anything that drops around Power Moves. Okay. The other thing here is I want you to understand that the power moves that you make right now today will affect your life and your business as you grow. Okay. So what you do today will show up in the next 90 days. So make a power move right now that you want to show up in the next 90 days in your world. Just like if I decide I desire to release some weight, I can decide that today, but I won't see the result for a while, right? But make a decision and make the move to get there. So I'll say this in closing. I've enjoyed season number 1, and I hope you have too. I want you to make it back for season 2, but do not come back to season 2 without having committed to this power move in season 1 and showing up in season 2 ready to share all of the details about how you were able to accomplish some things on making those power moves. Now, you can, you will, and you must. Remember, a move must be made. Make the next move your best move. In fact, make it your power move. I'm so excited and glad to have spent this season with you. And I look forward to hearing all about your successes and seeing each of you in the Power Moves community. Well, family and my friends, y'all have an amazing rest of today, and I'll see you next season.